Today, I want to share with you guys something that's called a whole brain posture and help you to understand how you can use this when you're trying to upgrade a limiting belief. So, for example, if you had a belief, I am not safe, which is super common if you have Cptsd, and you want to upgrade that to I am safe. Okay. So, before I just show you how to do it, I feel like it's really important to understand what the benefit is and why this is useful. I know in my case, if I just learned something, if I didn't understand why it could help me, I would, most of the time, I would try it. And if I didn't see a result that I liked, I would just kind of get rid of it. Okay. It wasn't until I understood why something was beneficial that it motivated me to not only learn it in the moment, but to also to continue to practice it regularly. And honestly, it's only by practicing things or putting things into practice regularly that we're able to change from the patterns that we're trying to work through. Okay, that being said, if you want to just jump and learn it, feel free to scroll and fast forward the video to where I show you how to do the whole brain posture. But for those that really want to understand it so that they feel that motivation to want to do it, let's dive into that. So let's first talk about why affirmations don't have the results or don't tend to give you the results that you really want. Okay, and it has to do with our brain waves. So just diving into that topic a little bit, when we're born, or actually when we're still in the womb, from that point of time until we're 2 years old, we're in what's known as a delta state. Our brainwaves are in that state of consciousness, which is very much like a deep sleep. From 2 to 6, our brainwaves are predominantly in a theta brainwave state. This is where you're really imaginative. Okay, your imagination is just really off the charts. And then from 6 to 12, you're predominantly in the alpha state of consciousness. And this is where there's like super learning, there's creative problem solving. The last state of consciousness, which is what takes place from the ages of 12 and after, is the beta state of consciousness, which is really us being conscious of our day-to-day things, living in the present and living in the moment. So the problem with affirmations, when we are saying them consciously, is that on a conscious level, we might be affirming and believing this new belief, whether it's I am safe, I am lovable, I am enough. We really believe it on a conscious level. But if we've been through things in the past, if we have a lot of unhealed wounds in the past around these new beliefs, like it's dangerous to be safe, or I'm not allowed, or something bad will happen, or there's something wrong with me. And these beliefs are in the deeper states of consciousness, right? They're in the subconscious, and we have these new beliefs in our conscious mind. There's disharmony. And so we're saying these new affirmations, but our brain is going in two completely different directions. And it can feel like we're repeating and repeating and repeating, and we're not getting anywhere. And so what they've learned is that there are certain things that we can do that can help us to help our brain to communicate better. So a whole brain state, when you're sitting in that whole brain state, allows your brain to do that. It allows it to have its conscious views of the beliefs that you're having kind of communicate with what's going on and integrate. And when our whole brain is working together towards a new belief, then we're not being torn in two separate directions, and it's a lot easier to start seeing change. Okay, so that being said, again, before I want to show you the whole brain posture, I do want to just say one last thing, okay? And that is that this whole brain posture is super, super helpful with helping you to upgrade your beliefs, but it is not a do this and you're healed 100%. A lot of the things that I share in the Thriver School of Transformation, which is a monthly membership where we meet live on Zoom and we do all of these things, all the tools that I talk about, all of the healing through Cptsd, we do that together. But all of those tools, along with the ones that I share on my channel, none of them are, do this and that's it. They're all just different tools that as you are on your personal development journey, they're tools that you can put in your toolbox, so to speak. Okay. And some people gravitate towards some tools, some people gravitate towards others. There's no right or wrong, but it really is about finding things that resonate with you and finding things that you feel help you to shift, and then taking them out consistently of your toolbox and putting them into your life consistently so that you can see results. Okay, so I think I did enough talking. Let's talk about that whole brain state. So I'm actually just going to push my chair back. So sitting in a chair and putting your hands palms facing out. Put one hand over the other, right over left, and interlace your fingers. And put the opposite leg or ankle crossed as well. So if your arm is right over left, your ankle is left over right. And you can sit comfortably like this with your hands down, or you can bring them up to your chest, whatever's more comfortable for you. You would do right over left if you were right-handed. However, if you're left-handed, then you do the same process with left over right, interlace your fingers, and then your ankles would be right over left. And here I am confused with which one I started with. But more than anything, you want to really feel which one feels comfortable and right for you. And then with your eyes closed, what you want to do is repeat the new belief over and over silently in your mind. Okay, so that's the whole brain posture. So I want to just let you know what you can expect can happen at times, okay? So since your conscious mind is trying to upgrade a belief that is in disharmony with a subconscious belief, when you're sitting in a whole brain posture, what can start to happen is a lot of negative can come up in the body, okay? And sometimes when that happens, if you're not expecting it, then you can be like, what the heck just happened? And you'll want to stop. So I'm telling you this because that is normal. Because basically the reason why you're not able to move forward with the conscious new upgraded belief is because of all of that that's there underneath. And so when you're in that whole brain posture, it's almost like you will feel that negative come up, will get worse and worse and worse and worse. And just when you think, oh my goodness, this feels awful, it will feel better. Because as you're sitting in that whole brain posture, it's not magic. It's not some weird woo-woo tactic. It's simply a posture that helps your brain to communicate. And by doing so, your brain is able to self-correct. So to give an example, if I'm in a half brain state, right? And anyone that's had childhood trauma or anyone that's struggling with Cptsd, we live a lot of our life in a half brain state. And we usually tend to be stuck in the right brain, which is our emotional brain. And so we have all these feelings with no logic to calm them, which would come from the left brain. So that would be like, I've used this illustration in the School of Transformation, where let's say you're walking through the woods and you see a stick and you have a phobia of snakes. And your emotional brain kicks on. It's like, oh my God, it's a snake. Your heart's beating, you're having all of these emotions. If you were in a whole brain state at that moment, what would happen is your left brain would kick on and be like, Michele, chill, it's just a stick. Like you're completely safe, you're completely fine. And then your whole body would start to relax again. When you're in a half brain state, your right brain is going, I'm so scared, I'm unsafe, all these things are going to happen. And it's really basing it on the past, not on the present. But there's no left brain logic to say, Michele, actually check it out. Like you really are safe now, and this is why. And so without that left brain kicking on, you're stuck with anxiety and fear and all these limiting beliefs. So that being said, This is a little bit longer than I hoped to make for this video, but I really hope the extra information just gives you what you need to encourage you to try this tool. And honestly, I would love it if you tried it and you, whatever your results are, if you can share it with me down in the comments below.